For this video, I intended to sit at the end of my bed and position my phone on the dressing table so I could record myself to deliver this topic, but since I'm not sleeping well tonight, I thought I might as well do it while I'm in bed. So, a few days ago, I was on YouTube and I saw my recommendations, this video by Amichu, I believe that's her name. She's like a draw your life kind of girl. Like, those animation channels like Odds One Out and Jane Animations? She's in that type of crowd. And this is a collab video with C Dog VA, and I can't remember that guy's name, and they're talking about the cringy weeb ears. You see, when I'm tired, my voice gets a little dry. So, yeah, and they talked about the cringy weeb ears, and they're millennials, so easily you can see where they started getting anime. I think you have those Cardcaptor Sakuras and Naruto's and One Piece. Came like early 2000s. So you have Toonami, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, and this is like the most often delivered upon backstory because millennials are the majority of the anime fans. Rarely I hear about Generation X, and I got anime through OVAs and the release of Akira, but I don't think I ever seen online a YouTube video about how a Zoomer has gone into anime. Well, since I'm in the later end of Zoomers, which means I was born in 1998, so I think I'm like one of the first Zoomers, at least in terms of years, so yeah, I'm probably like gonna make an animation video one day when I get better at drawing, or when I finally, maybe when I have more free time and I graduate from college, I can spend more time on making videos if I don't get distracted by life priorities. So, I'm gonna just talk now. So, where have I got introduced into anime? Well, it basically starts like how millennials got introduced to anime by TV. I was a big fan of watching TV. I watched Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and wildlife documentaries. So, in this, I think when I was watching Cartoon Network, this was in 2007 and 2008. So 2007, as I know, it's the big year of anime. You got Code Geass and Death Note, Gurren Lagann, all these big anime. And here I am, I was like, if I think like 10, I think I would be like 9, 10 years old, discovering my first cup of anime. And I think before then, oh wait, if I'm talking about like first cases of anime, I remember when I was really little, I don't know how, but I remember watching Astro Boy. I don't know how, I just can remember in my subconsciousness. I can even remember watching the intro episode of Astro Boy. I think it was Adam, and and then it was established he was a normal boy, and he got run over by a car, and he got reanimated to a robot. I think he joined the circus before he found a family, and he's got a cute little sister. But I don't know. I really gotta ask my dad how I came to watch Astro Boy, because I do remember that. And then next up, I don't know if I was around the same time of 8, 10, 12, but I remember I would watch Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! VHS tapes. Pokemon, it was of the first generation, and Yu-Gi-Oh! It was just episodes of Duelist Island and Duelist Kingdom on repeat. Certain episodes. But I think I did watch the entirety of Duelist Kingdom on VHS. Never watched the whole entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to be clear. So, that's, like, up to that point, it's very unclear, but onwards from 2007, 2008, at that point, I can remember clearly. So, these two anime. I first was Bakugan Battle Bros. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I really need to explain what Bakugan is. It's just like monsters that come out when you roll them as balls onto cards and they pop out. Yeah, I'm not gonna totally explain what Bakugan Battle Bros is, but it was one of the couple shows that had a consistent story. It had a couple good plot twists, and I was really invested in the characters and that dynamic. I think it's also in the top first. It was in the first 5 shows that actually started shipping characters together, so that was an interesting development. And I really get addicted to shipping to this day. I always find myself wanting to ship characters. That makes sense to me. I don't just go out of my way to ship the most obvious and most popular characters. I just find myself wanting to ship characters that I find interesting, that interact together. And that's to my fancy. The other show I remember way more fondly was Bobo 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 Bobo, the first gag comedy show. Then it's just so funny in its random and zaniness. And at the time, it was so unpredictable. It's also where I put on a couple of episodes repeatedly, and I just find myself laughing all the time. Like, I should really make a video one day about why Bobo's humor is so appealing to me. In the end process, I probably would put the anime on my favorite anime list, or wait, should I just read the manga and then make it put it on my favorite manga list? Because my favorite manga list is shorter compared to my favorite anime, and I still have a couple of anime that I could put on my favorites list, especially if I were to rewatch the couple of anime that I still remember, that I still look back on, like Welcome to the NHK and Toradora. So I gotta keep my mind on it, but I would say Bo was my favorite childhood show. Even outshining the many Western shows I like Ben 10 or Cole Lyoko and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Okay, moving on. So that was just for Cartoon Network in the late 2010s. But I think from between those two shows and when I discovered my next anime, which is basically like SpongeBob, Disney shows like Drake and Josh, Big Time Rush, iCarly. Yes, I had a Disney Channel phase. I think I also watched Wizards of Waverly Place. Yeah, I like the protagonist of the show, but this is not about my Disney Channel phase. This is about anime. So, I remember this summer 2014. I was on YouTube, and I discovered the first episode of Naruto. Now, Naruto, I said, okay, I'm a Zoomer. I'm not supposed to be a millennial, but whoever didn't discover Naruto on television, I discovered it on YouTube. It's not through a Linkin Park AMV. It was through just watching the full episode. I think it was English dub. Yeah, I think it was definitely English dub. And watching the episode, I was starstruck about how much I related to Naruto because at the time I was going through my self-development of being an isolationist, of not relating to the people around me. And I related to Naruto because he was alone because of the Nine-Tails Fox inside him, and villagers were treating him like an outcast, and I felt like an outcast. So it's just amazing in a coincidental way that I was at the right place, right time to watch Naruto. And I'll probably be way older. I was like 14, I think. Oh, 2014. If I think of 2014, 10 is 2008 and 16. You know what's weird? Like, I keep thinking of 2014, 2015, 2016, and I'm just a couple, and I think of the birth date and then the years in 2014, 2015, 2016. It seems like I'm older than I remember being. I, I don't know why I imagined myself to be younger at that time. So, whatever it is, I think it was 2014. I watched Naruto. It was my first anime knowing that it was anime. And I loved it. I love Naruto. I remember putting it as my favorite show for a while. Yes. So, okay, between watching Bobo and Naruto, I didn't discover any anime fans. Nor did I go on any forums because I was born in Australia and lived in Australia. And Australia doesn't typically have good internet. I remember when I lived in Canberra at the time and I was watching a Pokemon walkthrough, I had to use a dial-up internet, and I remember having to deal with buffering issues. That seems like such a long time ago, yet it was still like more than 10 years ago. That's what Australia is like. If okay, where was I? So Australia? No, it's not Australia. So I don't remember doing anything much related to anime. I didn't think I had my first exposure to manga. My mom got me the volume 3 of the of Pokemon Adventures manga. Yep, and I reread that volume over and over again. It's something about the paneling of manga I find way more enjoyable than comics. And I got a manga collection to this day, and I'm just really happy that I found my love of manga through that volume Mom gave me for I think it was Christmas at the time. So yeah, besides that, there wasn't that much covered in that period. And then Naruto came around, and I discovered Naruto for YouTube. I loved it. Even watched the end fillers. Then I think like at the end of 2014 is where I rapidly increased in my love of anime. I watched Death Note. Then that transitioned to Code Geass. Yeah, funny how that those two synergized. Then Gurren Lagann. Then I think I remember watching. No, I don't know if I watched Toradora in that time. See, this is why I need to make sure. This is why this vlog channel exists. I do not want to forget these things. I do not want to forget what happens in 2020. And my memory's fuzzy in the golden years of anime. So, 2014, I don't remember interacting that much on the internet. Maybe just to find new shows or what YouTube is. I think when I got into anime, no, I don't know if I want to go on anime YouTube. Let's skip ahead a couple months into early 2015. This is where I discovered not Code Geass. I discovered Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I remember watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Yeah, that was a big anime for me to watch, but I had nothing but free time, and I just loved it. I had it as one of my favorites for a while. Yeah, I wish I remembered to take a photo of every time I adjusted my favorites list. Probably should do that. I keep records. Okay, so around that time period, I think it was still 2014. I finished Tokyo Ghoul. It was okay, but I wanted to know if there was a sequel, and then I found out it was currently airing with A. So that's how I got into seasonal anime. That's when I discovered Mao, and through there I discovered r/anime, and r/anime at the time. I thought it was really funny how some of the comments were helpful, while some of the other comments roasted the anime and the story and the characters. I don't think r/anime is as funny as it used to be because I matured, but I still find some of the comments okay, particularly. Well, okay, we will talk about r/anime later. Mm, yeah, I think that's when I remember I interacted on the internet. Yeah, I think around May or so. You can check my Mal. I created a Mal account to keep track of the anime I watch. Then I discovered anime YouTube. I discovered Giguk, who was I would say, like, during my early years as an anime fan, Giguk was my favorite anime YouTuber. I thought he was really funny, and he just makes me laugh, and and then I discovered Glass Reflection. Those two were the main people I watched for the first months or so. Then I discovered the podcast one called Podtaku, and that was my first podcast I ever listened to. And I love that podcast. It used to be my favorite podcast. And then for that podcast, I discovered what it was like to be an anime fan in 2012. And on how Sword Art Online was new thing, and then it was Attack on Titan. I don't know when I did watch Attack on Titan. I think it was even 2014. It had to be late 2014. I watched the first season of Attack on Titan. Yeah, I think that's covering off the influential anime I watched in that early development period. I'm talking about now. I can talk about what I can remember interacting as a Zuma fan. Now, I was the quiet kid in the library, just watching anime on my school iPad. So there's not much of a fandom perspective. I can just talk about enjoying anime YouTubers like Digibro. Oh, by the way, I would think my first step to critical awareness and criticism of media was by this guy named Dark. I can't remember the rest of his name, but he was criticizing Sword Art Online. Yeah, I did watch Sword Art Online. I thought, yeah, he's right. There was stupid logic in the show and how badly characters were written. And then I realized, oh, some shows can be badly written. It can be enjoyable, but it can also be badly written. And that's my first step to critical awareness. Then I discovered Digibro when he became an anime guy. I think I first discovered him when he was still Brony, but I fully recognized him when he's an anime YouTuber, and I discovered his After Dark channel, and it was fantastic. I love Digibro and his videos. His videos were insightful. In fact, I should do a rewatch of his channel and then reevaluate the analysis he's made, because I want to work on developing my analysis of media, because I feel like I've been slouching it because I'm developing my drawing and my writing, my fictional writing, that is, and, well, I want to learn Japanese as much as I can, but I can't slouch on my critical writing because I need to make sure I take notes. So, well, maybe I can do a lightning round of my perspective. Anyway, so, yeah, I wasn't the most socially interactive person or the most extroverted person. I do have a convention memory. I wish I could turn on the lights. Maybe I could, but on the poster, one of my posters, the One Punch Man poster, I had it signed by the director of One Punch Man, the first season of the anime produced by Madhouse. I think the one who directed Space Dandy and Saitama's Japanese voice actor. Yep. That was in 2016. You know, funny enough about One Punch Man, it was the highlight of 2015 for me. Because I remember reading One Punch Man in class and finding out that it's gonna get anime adaptation. I'm like, whoa! That's when I was really hyped to see it animated. And I remember waking up early to see the newest episode. And it was a fun time. Fun time for all. Even when I was having exams, I still want to see the next episode. You know, okay, I might not be into One Punch Man as I once was, but the first season of the anime, each week just hits and hits and hits. When you really get into One Punch Man on a weekly basis, first season of the anime by Madhouse, it really makes you appreciate the craft and dedication. Like the key animators and in between animators were able to, in the directing especially, were able to make an impact onto me. Yeah. And that's how One Punch Man was. It had to be like one of my favorite manga for a couple years, and I think I also had Saitama as one of my favorite characters. Because I thought he has a cool stick as a character. He's so OP but has depression. That's my excitement about that show. But generally as a Zoomer, I don't have the most standout memories of what it's like to be an anime fan of these like up and coming generation. Now I'm in my 20s, and yeah, looking back, I don't want to repeat myself again. What can I say something new? Can I remember anything from 2016 onwards? No, well, what's my perspective? My perspective is to make sense of what the millennials okay, if the Gen X established the anime fandom in the Western Hemisphere and the millennials built on it, then what are the Zoomers supposed to do? Carry it on further? Is there a special word for this? That's what I was thinking watching Amateur's video and watching Vic's video. He's the younger brother of Digibro. And I realized there's not a Zoomer perspective. And now that I'm saying all this, I realize that I don't have more of an exciting story, don't have any standout moments. I can remember the great feeling I got when I cosplayed as Speed of Sound Sonic from One Punch Man, because I thought he was like a cool design, he was a ninja, he was fast. It's like basic childlike desire to imitate a cool character. So that's my first cosplay memory. Oh yeah, I also remember watching One Piece Code. And it was funny to laugh with the crowd over there. I think like as a Zoomer, it's just picking up from millennials. Because as a Zoomer, I look to millennials as my older siblings. I figure out, okay, what do they find cool? And they think it's worth going into. And that's how I picked up JoJo and Gintama and Hunter x Hunter. So it's just... So for the future, I want to be researching academia from and into anime. Yeah, I have a few books about anime that I want to read, and it's just like I'm getting dragged into different places. That's why I have the ACT, Anime, Communism, and Theology. But that's like in my spare time. What I want to do fundamentally is improve my drawing and writing, which I should be developing sometime into my critical analysis, but fictional writing is going to take in the blunt of my writing time. Maybe after I finish my one-shots for this month, I'll think about putting fictional writing on hold and then developing my critical media analysis. Okay, Zoomers. Me as a Zoomer. I love anime and I'm developing and changing my perspective on it. I think I haven't actually talked to Zoomers of my age except Star, and I'm not sure if Blitzpipe is a Zoomer or an early millennial. But I think Zoomers are more fans of the shonen like stuff, like shonen like stuff for their age, like My Hero Academia and Boruto. I'm not sure if there are any Zoomers that. I'm sure there must be a couple Zoomers that have my exact, not exact taste, but similar taste. maybe I should find some Zoomers who have similar tastes to me. Yep. So this is just a retrospective on what it's like for a Zoomer to grow up with anime. I don't think it's as entertaining as Imature's video or Vix. There was a lot more high energy, and yet here I am a little tired. It's funny that now I'm more pumped up that I'm talking, and it feels good just to get this off my chest because for a couple days now I was being procrastinating and losing time, but now that I said all this, I feel better about myself. Anime is a great medium. Watch more anime.